The air in courtroom 4C was thick and still, smelling of old wood and anxiety. It had been a long day of tedious procedural arguments, and even the court reporter's fingers had slowed from their staccato rhythm. High on his mahogany bench, Judge Alistair Rath looked less like a man and more like a monument to jurisprudence, his black robes a waterfall of authority. Before him, defense attorney Julian Croft, a man whose reputation was built on audacity, was weaving a dangerous thread. "With all due respect, Your Honor," Croft said, his voice a silken challenge, "the court's ruling on this motion seems to ignore the precedent set in State v. Hemlock. It almost suggests a predetermined outcome." A ripple went through the gallery. It was the legal equivalent of a glove slap. Judge Rath's eyes, previously half-lidded with boredom, sharpened. He leaned forward, his large frame casting a longer shadow. "Mr. Croft." The judge's voice was low, a rumble before the quake. "You will measure your words carefully in my courtroom. Are you suggesting this court is biased?" Croft, either too foolish or too brave to retreat, met his gaze. "I am suggesting, Your Honor, that a failure to reconsider will have significant consequences. My client's future is at stake, and I will not hesitate to pursue every available avenue to appeal what I perceive as a judicial error." The silence that followed was absolute, a vacuum sucking all sound from the room. The court reporter's hands froze above her machine. The bailiff shifted his weight, tense. Judge Rath did not shout. He did not bang his gavel. He became preternaturally still, his knuckles white as they gripped the edge of the bench. The temperature seemed to drop 10 degrees. "Mr. Croft," he said, each word a chip of ice, "look at me." Croft, for the first time, seemed to realize the precipice upon which he stood. The judge's voice dropped to a deadly, almost intimate whisper that carried to every corner of the silent room. "Are you threatening me?" The question hung in the air, not as a query, but as an indictment. It wasn't just about the case anymore. It was about the sanctity of the bench, the lane between advocacy and insurrection. Croft's confidence shattered. The color drained from his face as the full weight of his miscalculation crashed down upon him. He wasn't just facing a ruling. He was facing contempt, disbarment, the utter ruin of his career. In that eternal moment, the courtroom was no longer a place of law. It was a stage for a primal clash of power, and the gavel, still poised in Judge Rath's hand, felt less like a tool of order and more like a weapon.